If you own a home in England or Wales, you might assume it will automatically pass to your loved ones, but that's not always the case. Many families find themselves caught up in legal complications, with their home tied up in probate, leading to delays, unexpected costs, and added stress. Others face sideways disinheritance, where their home unintentionally passes to a new spouse's family instead of their children. And for some, financial risks like divorce, bankruptcy, or care fees can put everything they've worked for at risk. A trust can help keep your home where it belongs, within your family, and it can smooth the inheritance process, reduce financial risks, and give you more control over what happens to your property. But trusts are not a one-size-fits-all. If not set up correctly, they can do more harm than good. Hi folks, and welcome back to Everything Estate Planning, where we aim to break down estate planning topics into practical steps to help you plan for the future. I'm Jim from Elm Legal Services, and today we're tackling an important question. Is putting your home in a trust really worth it in the UK? Well, trust can be a powerful tool for protecting your home and securing your family's future, but they're not right for everyone. In this video, I'm going to break down benefits, common mistakes, and real-life examples to help you decide if a trust is the right choice for you. So without further delay, let's get started. First of all, what exactly is a trust? Well, a trust is a legal arrangement where you place assets such as your home under the management of a trustee. The trustee is responsible for managing the assets according to your wishes, ensuring they benefit the people you've chosen, known as beneficiaries. There are different types of trust, each serving a specific purpose, but the two most commonly used for homes in England and Wales are lifetime trusts, where you transfer your home into a trust whilst you're still alive, allowing you to manage how it's handled during your lifetime and after. And then we've got will trusts, which are set up through your will, meaning your home is placed into a trust only after you pass away, ensuring it's distributed according to your instructions. Each type of trust works differently and offers unique benefits. So let's take a look at when setting one up might be the right choice. So when does using a trust actually make sense? Let's explore some real-life examples of how trusts can help families avoid legal complications, protect assets, and maintain control over their estate. Example 1. Helping to avoid probate. Now, probate is the legal process of managing a deceased person's estate, which includes validating their will, settling debts, and distributing assets. It can be a long, stressful, and expensive process, often delaying access to a loved one's assets for months or, in some cases, even years. It also comes with significant legal fees. However, if you place your home into a trust whilst you're alive, it may not need to go through probate when you pass away. This means your beneficiaries can receive their inheritance more quickly and with fewer legal costs, ensuring a smoother transition of ownership. For example, David, a retired engineer from Bristol, wants to ensure his son James inherits his home without unnecessary delays or legal costs. After seeking some legal advice, he places the property into a trust during his lifetime. Now, when David passes away, the house is not considered part of his estate for probate purposes, meaning James can take ownership immediately without waiting months for probate to be completed. By using a trust, David helps his son avoid legal fees and delays, ensuring a smooth and efficient transfer of assets. Example 2. Avoiding sideways disinheritance. Let's say John and Mary are married and own their own home together. When John passes away, Mary inherits the property. Later, she remarries, and her new spouse gains legal rights to her assets. If Mary doesn't have a will trust in place when she passes away, the home could end up legally passing to her new spouse instead of John and Mary's kids. This is known as sideways disinheritance. By setting up a trust in their wills, John and Mary can ensure that when one of them dies, their share of the home is held securely in trust for their children. This means that no matter what happens in the future, whether Mary remarries or even updates her will later, their children's inheritance remains protected. Example 3. Protecting against divorce or bankruptcy. Now, let's imagine Sarah wants to leave her home to her son, Alex. But she's worried because Alex is actually going through a divorce, and she's concerned that if she leaves the property to him, it could be considered part of his financial assets. If that happens, his ex-spouse could claim a share of the home as part of the divorce settlement. In a similar way, if Alex ever faces financial difficulties, such as bankruptcy, the home could be at risk of being used to pay off his debts. By placing the home into a trust instead, Sarah ensures that Alex can still benefit from the property, whether by living in it or receiving income from it, but it remains legally separate from his personal assets. This means it is protected from divorce settlements, creditors, or financial disputes, giving Sarah peace of mind that her hard-earned property stays within the family. Example 4. Maintain control over care home fees. Now, before we get into the next example, there needs to be an important disclaimer regarding the following use of trusts. Trusts must be made as part of a long-term estate plan and cannot be used as a quick fix to avoid care fees. If you set up a trust after being diagnosed with a degenerative condition or when care is foreseeable, the local authority can investigate and reverse it on the grounds of deliberate deprivation. Now, the local authority will assess your health at the time, your reasons for creating the trust, and whether you are likely to need care. If they find that the trust was set up to avoid care fees, they can disregard it and include the asset in any financial assessments. To be effective, a trust must be set up early and for the right legal reasons. If created too late or to avoid care fees, it may not work as intended. With that in mind, let's consider the example of David and Susan, a retired couple who wanted to ensure their home stayed in the family. While they were still in good health, they set up a lifetime trust. Their primary goal was to protect against sideways disinheritance and make the inheritance process smoother for their children by avoiding probate. But they also understood that proper estate planning could offer other benefits in the long run. Years later, Susan's health declined and she needed long-term care. Because the trust had been set up well in advance for legitimate estate planning reasons, it was not considered a deliberate deprivation of assets. This meant that when the local authority assessed Susan's finances to determine her contribution towards care fees, the home, which was held in trust, was protected. By planning ahead carefully, David and Susan kept control of their assets and ensured that their home would pass to their children. While trusts can be incredibly useful in the right circumstances, they aren't always the best solution. There are situations where a trust might not provide the benefits you expect, or could even create complications. As previously discussed, if your main goal is to avoid care home fees, it's important to understand that local authorities have strict rules on deliberate deprivation of assets. If they determine that you placed your home in a trust to avoid paying for care, they will still count it as part of your assets when assessing your ability to cover those care costs. This means your home may still need to be sold to pay for care, making the trust ineffective for that particular purpose. If you still have a mortgage on your property, transferring it into a trust can be challenging. Most mortgage lenders won't allow a mortgaged property to be placed into a trust unless the loan is fully paid off. Even if permitted, there could be additional legal and financial complexities. Similarly, if you have already placed your home in a trust and later decide to take it out for equity release, you may face difficulties, as many providers require the property to be in your name before approving the loan. Another potential issue is improper trust structuring. Setting up a trust incorrectly can lead to unexpected tax consequences and legal complications. Certain types of trusts may trigger inheritance tax charges or capital gains tax liabilities, sometimes outweighing the intended benefits. For example, Capital gains tax can be a significant issue if you transfer a second property, such as a rental or holiday home, into a trust, as the tax is based on the property's increase in value since purchase, potentially creating an unexpected financial burden. Since tax rules surrounding trusts are complex, seeking professional advice is essential. An expert can help ensure a trust is the right choice for your circumstances and structured in the most tax-efficient way to achieve your goals. Trusts can be a powerful estate planning tool, helping to protect your home, avoid probate, and ensure your assets go to the right people. However, they're not a one-size-fits-all solution. If set up incorrectly, a trust could lead to unexpected tax liabilities, legal issues, or even be disregarded by the local authority. Before making any decisions, it's important to understand how trusts work, their benefits and their limitations. Seeking professional advice ensures your trust is structured correctly and supports your long-term estate planning goals. So if you're thinking about setting up a trust or simply want to make sure your estate is fully protected, Elm Legal Services is here to help. We've got over 25 years of experience helping families across England and Wales. We offer free initial consultations to guide you through your options. Contact us today and let's talk about the best way to protect your legacy. Thanks for spending some of your time with us today. If you've got any thoughts, questions, or suggestions, drop them in the comments. We always enjoy hearing from you, and your input helps us create even better content. Now, if you found this video useful, please give that like button a friendly handshake, hit subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on any of our updates. Remember, a little planning today can make a big difference tomorrow. So until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and stay tuned.